welcome to Those Forking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture, fandoms, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Christine.
And I'm Natasha.
And today we have a really exciting episode that we do every year. We're discussing our top 10 TV shows of 2024. I love talking about TV. I'm so excited. How are you feeling, Natasha?
I mean, TV, we're in like the platinum age of TV because there's just so much good TV that we can't even remember everything we watched because it was just, there's just so much.
There's so much good stuff. So we're pumped to discuss it. But first, as always, we're rolling into Snap Crackle Pop Culture News. And this week, we got the first pictures of Poppy and Alex on the set of People We Meet on Vacation. Did you see?
Well, are they the first pictures? Because we got the first ones of them like in the lounge chair, but they were in NOLA, like walking around.
I didn't really like count those because they were doing the cover, but like we saw them in like outfits we don't see them in. You know what I mean? You know when you see like new outfits that you've never seen with your eyeballs, like the cover looked like the cover.
Yeah, so like they're walking around New Orleans, and
she's in like bell bottoms. Like she looks like Poppy.
She does, and
her hair is all curly.
You saw like all the videos, right? Not just the pictures.
No, I didn't watch any videos.
Oh, I watched some of the videos. There wasn't a lot. It was just like them behind the scenes, and then her like skipping down the road. It was pretty cute.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. I'm excited to see these two like interact outside of like very, like more like down to earth because they're both in, she's from
like
Lady
fantasy
Jane
stories you're talking about in a contemporary. Yeah,
that's what I meant.
In today in Taylor Swift, speaking of New Orleans, Taylor Swift's off to New Orleans this week for the Eras tour. She's only got 4 cities left, so this is crazy. Hoping for some rep thing to drop any day now, ever, in the rest of the year. And I also didn't get to talk about this, but toward the end of her Miami days, she did a mashup of White Horse and Love of My Life, Loss of My Life. Did you listen to that?
No.
It was so beautiful and so heartbreaking, and I loved it so much. I just really she can do this. I hope she does this. I want her to put out an album of all of the mashups she performed on the Eras tour. Like, I would buy that on record. I would buy that on CD. Like, this is like once in a lifetime performances, These mashups she puts together are so random and different every single time.
Well, and also like the crowd reacting to it too is the best part.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, not doing that would be such a waste. It would be such a loss for everyone who wasn't there for any of those and who wasn't stalking on the internet, so you're not seeing it. Like, they were so good. And she's done in the past, she's released like covers that she's done on tour that aren't on her albums. Like, she did a cover of that Train song Drops of Jupiter, and I have that in my iTunes library, and like other ones that she randomly released. But this would be a beautiful album. Please give it to us, Taylor, if you happen to tune into the podcast today. We want it.
She's got so many things that she could drop from the tour, like
I know. Well, they're working on a documentary. They've been there filming her, so.
Yeah, I know. They filmed her as she was leaving the other day.
Yeah,
My friend was there.
And someone from above saw that every time she went down the hatch in the stage, they were right there filming. Yeah.
While it was raining, like during the rain show?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Great one to be filming.
Where do I start on mine? Okay, for my Disneyland fans, Christine just reminded me because she was singing this song. When can we do this again? Okay. My favorite parade, Paint the Night, which premiered. We have so many great memories around this parade because it premiered one of the times where we were at VidCon and we were all like running to go see it, and we had so much fun just like dancing along to it. We haven't seen it since I think 2018, so it's been gone for 6 years, and it's coming back. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming back. Well, the funny thing is that Disney is like, hey, we're going to start offering front of the line lightning lanes for $400, but also here's Paint the Night. It's coming back.
$400, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But the only way you can get the front of the line lightning lanes is if you're staying on property. So basically if you just go for funsies, nah. Jazz, Tasha, do you like Fantasmic? Yeah, Fantasmic's great. I like Paint the Night better. Paint the Night is a nighttime parade.
That song plays on repeat throughout the entirety of Paint the Night.
It does.
It never. I remember after we saw it for the first time, we were like, "Why can't we see it?" All night. Next up, I have here the Guts Tour is coming to Netflix October 29th. I'm excited because I had to go to the Ducks Tour. The Ducks Tour. The Guts Tour.
Yeah,
so now I'll get to watch it. Are you gonna watch it?
Of course.
And I think it seems like there's some behind the scenes moments which I really like. When they have those in tour videos, it just makes it more exciting and more like you feel closer to the artists. It's not like you're just in the audience; you're with them. So
the experience
that'll be fun. And they just announced that Severance season 2 is coming back January 17th.
Oh, yay!
So
to look forward to
soon. What did you say?
I said something to look forward to after Christmas.
Know. Oh my God. So, well, Christmas is the time to rewatch Severance, that means. And, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. So we're talking about TV shows today. And I have like a note being like, I wish that there was a season of this year because I am looking forward to it so much. And I love the first season so much, but it like happened years ago, so I can't talk about it. Now we can. January 17th, Severance is coming back. You should watch it if you haven't yet. It's on Apple TV Plus. It's worth the subscription. It's fantastic. All right.
Fantastic.
All right. What else you got, Natasha?
Okay, I don't know if we've already talked about this, but they have announced more people for Beef season 2, and we also have a little snippet of what it's going to be about.
We did talk about this when it dropped.
So I think they just added. So there's Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan, Charles Melton. I do remember that. Kaylee Spaney is also joining Beef. She's from the new Alien movie and the Priscilla movie. There's going to be 8 half-hour episodes.
Okay.
And the season is going to follow a young couple who witnesses an alarming fight between their boss and his wife, triggering chess moves of favors and coercion in the elitist world of a country club and its Korean billionaire owner.
I'm excited.
Very excited. Next I have Blade. The movie Blade is officially pulled from the Marvel lineup as of right now. So
do people just hate it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just, it's just not making sense in the lineup, which is kind of sad because it's like people are
like
really looking.
Classic.
It's a cult classic, and they
made reference in Deadpool.
Yes, and I mean we have a black character too that is also important. So that's kind of sad that they just pulled it. So I don't know if they're going to be putting it somewhere else because also, Spider-Man 4 is not technically in the lineup, so we don't really know what that means.
Speaking of Spider-Man 4, I was just talking to Natasha off recording that they should never let Tom Holland talk about early Spider-Man stuff.
I feel like he did.
He spoiled something for
himself.
Endgame or something or Infinity War, but he said the script is crazy. Like what they're trying to do is crazy, but I think fans are really going to connect with it. But he's like, it definitely needs some work, and it's definitely probably in the early stages. So commenting on it at all is probably making the writer feel like so anxious.
Not to mention all the Marvel people breathing down the writer's back and making it all work.
Yes.
Laura asked about Blade. Did they film it already, or are they pulling it in advance? They haven't filmed it, so I don't know if they're going to be reworking it and then maybe releasing it or talking about filming it in a later date.
I think, Laura, did you just say our hairs look so pretty? Yes. Okay, I just wanted to say, because we mentioned this in an episode, my hair is from the noodle that we talked about. Natasha was talking about in our life hacks episode. So thank you very much.
Yay.
And Tom Holland has been cast in Christopher Nolan's next film. So that's exciting.
That's very exciting. So last episode, we was a Halloween episode, and we talked about some of my favorite spooky shows. And Mike Flanagan is usually behind those shows, and he is actually doing a Carrie TV show in a remake as a remake. So I'm excited.
That's cool
for that project. I mean, we've seen Carrie now. They remade it with Chloe Grace Moretz.
I watched that.
You did?
Oh wait, no, I watched the original.
Yeah.
I watched Carrie. I think I watched the original Carrie.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see what they do with a remake TV show.
I didn't like that movie. It made me feel icky.
Yeah, I hope there's some good. Usually, Mike
There's
Flanagan.
no balance. Yeah, in the movie.
Usually, Mike Flanagan, his shows, what he likes to do is there's usually a nice balance.
Yeah, he makes it like a good show that has all the different aspects.
Which is why I
So
like him. Yeah,
I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In other news, a book came out May 21st called Attached at the Hip. And I hear it's about a survivor if it had a romantic slant. And since I love Survivor so much and I love romance, I love this book Attached at the Hip. And I also wrote it.
I was like, wait, what?
I wrote it. It's out wherever books are sold. If you're looking for something to read, if you're looking for a gift for a book lover friend or a reality TV fan, it's a perfect gift for the holidays. And also you could read it in audiobook or digital if you prefer that way. But it's out, and if you read it and enjoyed it, I would highly appreciate if you left it a quick review wherever you read it or enjoyed it or bought it. It's super, super helpful to me. As an author, it helps my career keep moving, and it's actually really, really important. And I feel really dumb that I wasn't talking about reviews as often until now. So thank you if you go and review it. I really, really appreciate that.
The being wise as and the seasoned professional that you are.
You have to learn.
You have to learn. And if you guys missed it last week in our Halloween episode, Christine announced
the title of book 5.
Yes.
It's See You at Twilight. There's nothing to pre-order yet there, though. So there's nothing exciting to click on, but the title is See You at Twilight, and it was announced on Publishers Marketplace, which I'm realizing that no one can see unless I share it, because you have to have a subscription to Publishers Marketplace to see these announcements. But anyway, and one last thing I want to mention. I don't know if you saw, I'm sure this clip is going viral, but Eminem endorsed Kamala Harris yesterday at a rally. And then he introduced Obama because he was coming to speak. And Obama came on stage and he was like, I usually don't get nervous. I've done so many rallies in my life, but my palms are sweaty, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. And then he kept going, and it was awesome. And he's just the coolest president ever, in my opinion. I fucking love him. And I was just like, dun, 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 dun. And he started doing it, and the whole crowd was like, dun, 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 dun. It was so cool.
I haven't seen this clip yet. Oh, wait, you sent it to me.
You need to watch it.
No, I was busy doing my craft.
Yeah, Jazz said that I'm birthday twins with Obama. Yes, I'm a proud birthday twin with Obama, President Obama. And I love Lose Yourself, so Obama singing Lose Yourself. I was so giddy.
Okay, last thing. Our merch is coming. We've ordered samples. Did you ever order your shirt, by the way?
Oh, I forgot to order my shirt. Let me do that. Let me write it down.
Lord Jesus.
Alexa, remind me to order my shirt at 3 p.m.
We have merch coming. It's coming, guys.
It's coming. Well, so it's going to be, we'll have t-shirt, and we'll have the t-shirt in 2 different colors, I think. And then you've probably seen the t-shirt, and we have a sweatshirt. I'm really excited about the sweatshirt. I ordered a sample. Love it.
I need to order a sweatshirt.
Okay, I was wearing it on the walk, and Cynthia was like, oh my gosh, you have so much Taylor Swift merch. And I was like, this isn't Taylor Swift merch.
Look closer.
And she was like, and she read it, and she's like, those forky girls. Oh, it's funny.
Okay.
The sweatshirt's gonna be black, and the shirts are pink and purple. So you get like your girly colors, your nice poppy colors, and then you have like your like tortured color sweatshirt.
Yes. Remember we talked about how I was going to have a design, and then Christine was going to have a design. I think you guys can tell who designed
I like all
which.
the designs.
I do like all the designs. I do. I think we can put the black on different colors too later on, but
maybe, but it looks so much cooler black on black. So the black it says TFF, but like the TTPD. And Natasha like sent me a bunch of different like ways of designing that to make it look like, you know, the TTVD together. And there's one with like the F upside down, and it's like it gives like TFF is kind of unhinged, and I fucking love that. So look forward to that.
yeah. And we have the shirts in 2 different colors, in the pink and then in purple, because I fucking love a comfort color shirt. And I was like, we need this in comfort colors, but they don't have it in a good pink. So I put it in purple.
I think it looks nice. Did you get it in the mail?
Not yet. I don't think they've shipped it. So we'll see.
All right. So, and I also just had a really quick correction. Last week I talked about Double Trouble. Did I call it that? I don't know. The American Naturally movie that I loved when I was little. And I was like, I think they're like 8 or something, because I literally haven't seen this in like 25 years, I feel like. And I went and looked it up, and it's called Double Toilet Trouble. It's fantastic. Watch it on Halloween for shits and giggles if you are interested. But it came out in 1993. So I must have watched it like as a 5 or 6-year-old, and Olivia was like a fetus and 3. So it's really old, but I do really love it, and I started rewatching it, and it was giving me all the like they're little, they're like 5 or 6, I think, the girls, 7 tops. Okay, moving into what right now real quick. What have you been reading?
Oh, okay. I have been reading this book called Immortal Dark by Taijest Girma.
What is this?
Okay. I saw it on TikTok. I told you about it. Okay. It has the vibes of Ninth House meets Cruel Prince. I don't get the Cruel Prince vibes just yet. I get the Ninth House vibes. Okay. So it's it's not super fantasy. It's set in our world. And what's really great is that it's written by a Black author, and every character in this book is Black. And I don't think I've ever sadly read anything like that before. And it's so good. Okay. So it's a vampire novel, and we follow this young woman, and her sister's been missing. And she has been sequestered from this vampire world her whole life, but she believes that a vampire has taken her sister, and that I think a couple hundred years ago, a couple families and the vampires decided that they weren't going to kill anymore, but they were going to be like the 80 families who were going to be feeding these vampires. And so they've made this whole communion, a community of people that you can't really get into. You have to be invited only. And she wants to get back into this community because she believes that one of these vampires have stolen her sister, and she is the last remaining heir of her family's house. And so she has to live in her family's house to become the heir, and she believes that this vampire has stolen or has kidnapped her sister. And I'm halfway through it, It's very good. It's very much like Ninth House. Like if you like those vibes, it's that vibe. And I love
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Nice. That sounds awesome. I have started Alternate Endings, which is by Ali Rosen, an author and cook, who we met at
Oh, yeah.
Romance Con, and I've been staring at it on my bookshelf. Ooh, on my bookshelf is that one that you can kind of see in the background that's like pink and green. And it's about a mom in her 30s whose boss decides that she's moving to Ireland and she's going to open up a new branch there. And she lives in like New York City, so this is far. And she has her kid and she's divorced, freshly divorced, and they own like a duplex. And they lived together in one of the places, and his sister lived in the other, and his sister's her best friend. So when they got divorced, he moved into the sister's apartment, and the sister moved in with her. So they kind of traded, but they live in the duplex. But anyway, she has to go to Ireland for a like period of time that she's not sure if it's 3 days or if it's going to be a week, but to like help them rearrange the way the office is going to work with her in Ireland. Anyway, she goes there and they've hired a new CFO to replace the boss in New York, and it's her high school sweetheart who she hasn't seen in a long time. So I think it's Second Chance Love. I'm excited. I need something like fluffy to read at night while I'm on deadline here. So
that sounds cute.
It does sound cute. I'm excited to get further into it because I'm only like a couple chapters in.
I need to look at the cover again because I don't remember what it looks like.
Yeah, it's
Is it like pink and something?
Pink and green, and it's like cut down the middle, kind of like Again But Better, and it's got like glasses on the cover.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm enjoying that, and she messaged me because her new book is coming out in March 1st, I think, or March 2nd or 3rd. And she's doing like a digital like slumber party like thing with different authors popping in and out every hour. And she asked me to come in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm being like honored to. Thank you.
Yay for making friends.
I know. Very exciting. All right. What have you watched this week?
Okay. Well, we both watched Love is Blind.
We did. I caved. Had I have caved last time we talked? We didn't talk about this.
We didn't talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. One day I was really tired. I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere with my writing. Guess what time it is?
Love is Blind time. This season is not my favorite.
You know, I'm enjoying it. I enjoy every season.
I don't enjoy every season. I love the pods. That's my favorite thing. And then I love watching them meet. And then after that, like I like seeing the stuff in Mexico, but when things just start falling apart, I'm like, this is hard.
I'm kind of the further along we get, the less attention I'm paying into it. So like I'm doing more things while I'm watching it toward the last, like I was doing my like exercise thing with Future while it was just running on the couch.
Yeah, I was like hand sewing while it was.
So I was getting bored with them just like working up to the wedding. I want to see the weddings. My favorite is getting to the altar now.
Dude, that episode of the weddings where they're just like talking to their family.
Wait a minute.
Fast forward through it.
Wait a minute. The weddings are up.
Yeah, I haven't seen them yet.
Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't put them all. I was getting ready this morning.
Okay, but I just have to say that the wedding episodes where they're like getting ready and they're just talking, I fast forward through that shit.
Oh yeah. Well, we just want to get to the thing. We want to get to the altar.
I just want to see what happens. They really just stretch it out. Okay, I have to say, Christine reminded me that last night there was the Disney night at Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Dancing with the Stars, I think, since 2010.
Oh my God.
I know. And because like we used to watch it with my mom and my grandparents, and it was like a big to do. And then I kind of just got bored of it. I didn't really care for many people like who were on the show. This season, I care about so many of the stars, like Joey the Bachelor, even Jen the Bachelorette, like obviously Ilona. She's my favorite.
Steve.
Who's Steve? Oh, the gymnast, right?
Yes.
Well,
and Chandler.
This season has become so viral on TikTok. Like I'm because of Alona, but then the football player had that amazing viral dance that everyone started to do, and I've rewatched that dance several times. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And then last night I put on the Disney night, and I haven't watched it. It was like weird, like dun 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 dun.
Oh my god! That song makes me so happy. I sing it with them when the theme song comes on. I'm like, that's why, like, when we randomly, like a few weeks ago, I was like, "Welcome to tea time." I said, "Welcome to Dancing with the Stars." I love Dancing with the Stars. It brings me so much joy. That dedication night episode that Natasha was talking about with the football players routine that went viral, like, I cried so many times during that episode because I'm just like so proud of all of them. The thing is, even if you don't know or like a lot of like the celebrities that are in the season, you get to know them and like them through the season, just like any other reality show where you don't know the people. And by the end, you have your favorites and the people you love. And Phaedra, even though I don't like love her, like I know her now, I'm like excited that she's on the show. Like, because I watch her on The Traitors, obviously.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Joey's so good. He's so
Joey is amazing.
Joseph. Christine was like, she's like, you know, The Bachelor. I'm like, you mean Joey? I'm like, I loved his season of The Bachelor.
He is the cutest bachelor I've ever seen.
He is.
I was like, oh my god, who's that? And I was like, that's The Bachelor. I thought he was an actor. He's too cute to be The Bachelor.
He's so nice too, and
I love
the
him.
way. Okay, he was Tarzan last night, and he just smiled through the whole thing.
Well, he was being Tarzan. It was so cute. There was this one really sexy move though, where she did like the drums on her, and she like went down on the floor, and I was like,
yeah, that was really good.
I screamed.
I definitely like when some of the dancers aren't really good, I clinch. I'm just like, ugh.
There aren't really many bad dancers left at this point. We're more than halfway through the show. Who are you talking about?
No, like they're not bad. But it's funny, like having fresh eyes and seeing it and being like, oh, like I'm noticing things more than when I was younger.
Oh, I always notice things. I always like feel so bad. There's like a couple, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but Alona, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Alona got off beat and it really messed her up. And afterwards she was like so upset and close to tears.
I remember, yeah,
tears. And I was just like sobbing with her because it is like so hard when you know that, like, you know the steps and you know the dance and you mess it up the time that you're on air.
Yes, I'm not doing really well, Carrie-Ann.
I know. She's like, I've been better, Carrie-Ann. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm so proud of Dancing with the Stars because this year in particular, I feel like they've really come back in the zeitgeist. They do a good job of like making the show feel new and fun, and they started this like theme nights thing that they do now every week the past couple years. And it really makes it fun every week to see like what theme it's gonna be. Like last year they did like Taylor Swift night and Celine Dion night and all these like different artists, and this year this season they're doing like 80s night and Disney night and dedication night. Like they used to do that like every other week or something, or like every couple weeks, and now it's like every week has a fun theme, and it really has made for like viral moments and brought a lot of new people to the show.
Yeah, no, truly, and they're going viral on TikTok, and it's
that's
what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, you even got me to watch it after like 14 years.
No, yeah, talking about Joey every week, you're like, I have to watch.
He's my favorite. I love him.
I'm just like so impressed with Joey. Every week I'm like, oh my god, Joey's dance. I can't even believe it. He's so good. All right. So other than that, I've been watching Only Murders in the Building on my breaks and really enjoying it. And I've just gained a new appreciation for Only Murders. I do have an appreciation, or I wouldn't keep watching it. But like, I was listening to the soundtrack while I walked Bellamy and had like my sad girl brainstorm walk. And it has such a beautiful score. And I always sing along with it. And it gives me like these like comfy feelings because I know them all so well. But until I was listening to them on my walk, I was like having a cry. I was like, what makes this show beautiful is that all these people are like, they don't really fit in, and they don't have people in their lives that they're not married. They're kind of lonely, but they've created this really sweet family together. And every character on the show is kind of like that, like kind of a misfit that doesn't really know where they belong, that has like found family, and they're working together in this like unlikely way, and it's really cute. And there's this like innate loneliness to the score, even though it's really cozy. So anyway, just thought that was really beautiful. And movie wise, I tried to watch Woman of the Hour, but wasn't good for my rom-com headspace, so I had to turn it off and I had to watch it.
Woman of the Hour?
It's Anna Kendrick's film that I was talking about last week.
Oh, that's right.
With the serial killers
on Netflix.
The serial killer, and she is on so Anna Kendrick plays a struggling actress, and her agent gets her a spot on a reality show where basically it's the dating show where there's a wall and you ask questions, and there's like guy number 1, guy number 2, guy number 3, and she's like, are you serious? And she's like, it's better than nothing, it's gonna get your face out there. And so she goes on it, and the serial killer is one of the guys on the other side of the wall. It was giving me anxiety. So I was like, okay, let's watch this when we're not trying to write. Nicole, it was good. Like, I want to see what happens, but also just wasn't good for headspace of rom-com.
The movie I watched 2 movies. Alex made me watch Immaculate, and that's the one with Sydney Sweeney.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if I should watch that, but I'm not scared. I don't like scary movies.
I don't think you'll like it. I didn't love it.
I do like biblical twist stories.
It's interesting. That's for damn sure. I didn't put Immaculate Conception together.
Oh, that's the immediate thing I thought of when I saw the title.
Didn't. I did not. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is where this is going. Being pregnant against your will. Got it.
Yeah.
So that's the movie. Just yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew that was the movie. That's why I was like interested in watching it, and also Sydney. But also it was scary, so I was scared.
Yeah, it's more like body horror, I think. There's not much like scare tactics. There's nothing like that's too terrifying in my book. I think you might not enjoy it. You could maybe watch it with somebody. And then I watched the new Laura Dern and Liam Hemsworth movie, Lonely Planet, and it was nice. It was like
it was nice.
It was a very slow paced, like romantic movie. Nothing, because we've been seeing a lot of those like older women with younger men tropes. Like we had one with Nicole Kidman that was really fun. Has there been another one? Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Which I really like that one. That one was really cute. This one was more like it made a lot of sense, like how they came together. She is she's a writer, a very famous,
just like Nicole Kidman.
Just like Nicole Kidman. Why are they all fucking writers? So she's a writer. She goes on this retreat.
Wait a minute. Nicole Kidman's a writer in both of the Nicole Kidman things that came out.
She is a writer in both of them.
All right, go ahead.
So she's a writer. She goes on this retreat. She's just left a long relationship, and she's not doing very well. She doesn't really want to be a part of this writer's retreat, so she keeps like finding these little places to hide and write. Liam Hemsworth is a boyfriend of a writer who is on this retreat, and his girlfriend writes like women's fiction, and a lot of these people are very well to do, like Pulitzer Prize things. and they end up forming a relationship. And I was like, I don't think I like this. There's cheating involved in this. It's not really, because, well, there is on both sides, but not.
I mean, but that's what the conflict is in the story.
Exactly. But it's very low key, you know. There's like one sexy part. Liam Hemsworth is cute, so it was nice. That's my review. It was fine.
Was so all over the place.
It was fine.
It was fine. All right. Well, that's going to take us into our main discussion. We are about to go through our top 10 TV shows of 2024. We're going to go from 10 to 1, and then we will go through our honorable mentions afterward really quickly. But before we do that, we want to take a second to thank all of you out there listening. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate Those Working Fangirls family. We love you all. And if you haven't already, you can follow the show for free. We'd love it if you followed the show for free in your favorite podcast listening app, so you never miss an episode. So you get a little notification when we upload, which is great. Whether that be on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, it's super easy just to click the follow button. And then if you like the visual show, we have a visual show on YouTube. Every episode has video, and it's on youtube.com/@thoseworkingfangirls, and you could subscribe there for free so you never miss an episode visually if you prefer it that way. And if you don't know, this is a viewer-supported podcast. We don't have many sponsors. We are able to do this because of our Patreon and because of our patrons who support us.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, we love our patrons. We appreciate you so much. Like, literally, then that's how we can do this. And if you'd like to check out our Patreon, we have a lot of fun perks over there. If you want to become part of the Patreon fam, we have 3 different levels. Team Jacob is our $5 level. And at that level, you get the show ad-free. You get to come to recordings and be a part of the chat, be a part of the conversation live and in the show. You get our half-an-hour extra show every single episode, Fangirl Tea Time, which now there are 95 episodes of. That's insane to me. So when you do become a patron, you can go back and listen to 95 episodes of Fangirl Tea Time, which I can only imagine is a hoot. I would love to do that.
Someone listened to the one recently of
Robert
New Zealand.
Pattinson. Yeah.
The Robert
the ass
Pattinson
one.
The scary butthole story from New Zealand. And I was just like, oh, that one.
There's a lot of great stories buried in those episodes. And if you want to try it out for free for 7 days, there's a free trial of the Team Jacob tier. So you can give it a go, see if you like it, and then commit. You can commit month to month. Or if you want a 16% discount, you can become an annual you could do the annual subscription. You get like a month and a half for free. Annual subscriptions also make a great holiday gift.
They do.
They do. That's just a really fun thing to give someone from if they like the pod, I feel like, or if you think they'll like the pod, maybe safer if they already listen. Or for yourself, treat yourself. And then we have 2 other tiers, Team Edward and Team Polis Bananas. And there's other fun perks there you can check out on our Patreon. The link is in the show notes, patreon.com/thoseforkingfangirls. All right. We are going to roll on in here. If you're a patron, we're going straight in. If you're not, we will see you. We'll be back in a minute after these messages. All right. We're back. Top 10 TV shows of 2024.
Right. I just have to say some of our patrons in the chat have put in predictions. Way
very
back
exciting.
up.
Wait, we love predictions.
Laura said, place your bets. What are we thinking going to be on these lists? I'm thinking Bridgerton, Agatha All Along, Heartstopper, Rings of Power.
Yes.
Jess says Heartstopper for sure.
Yeah, if you're out there and you're listening right now and you like to place bets, take a second right now. What do you think's going to be on the list? What do you think's going to be number 1, top 3? If I love doing that, so I used to do it in my videos all the time. Like, pause. If you want to take bets on what will be on this list.
Someone said Fallout. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Nice. All
My
right.
Lady Jane.
Okay, enough. We don't want to talk about it anymore. Stop giving people ideas.
Okay.
All right. Place them privately. You can put them in the chat. All right. So we're going to start with number 10. Natasha, what's your number 10 this year?
I thought we were going to do honorable mentions first.
No, that gives away what's on the list and what's not on the list.
Oh, okay.
Honorable mentions last.
Oh, this number 10, I keep switching out because I don't know what to put here. Okay. I'm going to say... Okay, I had this I'm going to say Acolyte is my number 10.
Okay.
And it's so sad because the show is canceled. And it was so good. Acolyte is Manny Jacinto and Amanda Steinberg. And it was our first Star Wars show that was set in the Old Republic. So it was set way before the movies where they take place.
Oh, interesting.
And we kind of get to see this really fun dynamic between two like twin sisters, and one's bad and one's good. And Manny Jacinto's
love an
hot.
evil twin.
We do. And Manny Jacinto's hot, and he's like a bad guy, and he's like a bad guy before
Redemption arc.
Before the Sith became the Sith. Like, that's the interesting part. It's like we get to see the Jedi in their prime, but also the Jedi who maybe were too good, and that's why you needed this balance in the Force, which is what the Old Republic of Star Wars is. And
can I sidebar very quickly about Siths? Because on Armchair Expert, they were talking about the word scythe, but Monica was saying, like, isn't it Sith? He's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I always thought it was scythe. And then they looked it up because they were thinking scythe, like the cutter. And they're like, wait, what's a Sith then? And I'm like, it's Star Wars! It's Star Wars!
Why don't they know that?
And it was just really funny because of all people knowing what Siths are, and the three of us, I didn't think it would be me. I'm sure everyone was like, Star Wars, listening, all the millions of people listening to the podcast. All right, go on.
Okay. So anyways, I really enjoyed the season of Acolyte. Alex
I
and
enjoyed
waited.
the pictures of Manny Jacinto I saw on Twitter.
I'm so happy you did. Yeah, and it was setting up for such a good second season. I still think it's worth it to watch, especially if you want a little taste of the Old Republic and what that was like, and maybe we'll get more shows like that. I don't know. I'm just sad. But like as Laura said, another show with a person of color as a lead gets axed. It is very disappointing. And I felt like it just kept happening this year, and it's just stupid. I hate it. And it's just so frustrating because like they were promoting it at D23 and then they canceled it like the next week. And I just don't understand that thought.
That's really frustrating.
Yeah. But that would be my number 10. I was really fighting this number 10 because I had another Disney show I want to put up here, but it's not finished up yet. So that's in my honorable mentions.
All right. My number 10 has been on my list since I started doing these lists in 2010, and that is Survivor. It's at number 10 this year because I wasn't wowed by these two seasons this year. And really, the seasons are like the luck of the casting a lot of the time. But I loved it as always, but last year's season was really, really good. So I was up against that in my head, my recent fave, season 46. Wait, 45. Wait. I hate the no themes. I'm already forgetting what season it was. The season with D. So recent fave, and that was like at the end of last year. And this year's seasons were fun, but I didn't love it as much. So it's at 10 for me. And it's still running right now. We're still in season 47, so we'll see how that ends up wrapping. But Yeah, Survivor, a classic. I don't know if you've heard of this book called Attached at the Hip, but it's a Survivor rom-com if you like Survivor or if you don't like Survivor. And it's available now, and I wrote it. I love Survivor.
I'm so glad you love Survivor.
Thanks. What's your number 9, Natasha?
I just changed it.
Oh, my God. I'm scrolling down. Where is it?
Listen, I had something on the bottom of my list that Christine has it on top of her list. I'm just going to take it out so she can talk about it because that makes more sense to me.
Okay.
My number 9 is Agatha All Along. It's not finished up yet, so I feel weird saying it's my number 9.
That's why. I mean, I didn't love the last 2 episodes, so I was like, it's in my honorable mention. But it's not even in there because I don't know. Well,
Did you
I haven't seen the latest one. The 2 before it, though, were not as strong as the first 3.
True. But then it got real strong in this last episode, and then we have 2 more episodes. We have 1 tonight and then 1 on Halloween. So, we have 2 on Halloween, I think. I'm excited. I love the show. I loved how strong it was at first, and I love that I am itching to watch it every single week. It feels so fun to want to watch another Marvel show again like this. It feels like WandaVision again, or possibly like Loki. Like, I love Loki. And I'm just having so much fun with this show. And Catherine Hahn is amazing. The way that I'm saying,
She is.
are you a loser? Or like the way she says that when she's, you haven't seen the new episode, but she says it when she's interrogating Joe Locke. So
Cool.
anyways, I love Agatha.
I am enjoying Agatha, and I need to catch up. But I missed my chat wasn't updating, so I just want to address that. Katie said, "How are you liking 47?" I'm enjoying 47. I like that there is a villain, Rome, and he's not like a classic villain, but he's really infuriating to everyone around him. So he's become a villain. Yeah, Katie's like, Rome scares me. He's so devious, but also dumb. Yeah, he's just like, he's too out there. Like, he's too obvious about his villainry. And it's been very entertaining to have a villain. It's always entertaining when you have a villain on the season, and I thought the villain of the season was going to be the curly-haired guy whose alliance with Sue on the Blue Tribe, because they made his entrance interview sound like he was like gonna be the villain. He was giving Russell vibes, but he's actually a much more subtle villain, and I'm really enjoying him too. I'm really enjoying Sue. She's the older lady. I'm enjoying 47. 47 has a lot of potential to be a really fun season because it's been really fun so far. And 47 is back to like, so the last like 15 seasons, people, when they get voted out, it's a blindside. They're like, oh, wow, you got me. Good game, guys. But now we're back to like the earlier seasons where they're like, who did this? And like this past episode was like iconic because it was a complete blindside. And she stood up and just stood there and stared at them all. And she was like, was it you? Was it you? It was great. I felt so bad for her. I really loved her, and I was really sad she got voted off. But like, iconic, like not wanting to leave tribal council scene. Anyway, did you just do number 9?
I did.
All right. My number 9 this year is Heartstoppers season 3. It was so adorable. It did have they're dealing with, I can't remember his name in the show. I want to say Joe now. Fuck.
Yeah, sorry. I only know him as Joe Locke. That's his actual name.
I can't. What is his name on the show? Okay. Anyway, Joe's character is Charlie is dealing with his like an eating disorder, and they handle it really well. But like, eating disorder stuff just really gets in my head sometimes. So I was just a little more anxious watching this than usual. But I really loved it. It was really sweet.
I haven't watched it yet, and I keep seeing it. I'm like, I need because
It's
it takes.
so sweet.
I know, and I kind of like want to rewatch the whole show so I can just binge it like all together because I don't remember where season 2 ended.
It ended with I think they went to the beach together. I can't remember. I have to rewatch it too. It ended with summer or something because it starts with summer here. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they came
All
out
right.
as official boyfriends at the end of last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shayla, is that how you say your name? She says, I still need to watch it too. I'm waiting till spooky season is over. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I'm trying to watch all the spooky things right now. Okay. My number 8. Oh, I kind of want to put this up higher. I'm just going to say it. It doesn't matter. Okay. Number 8. I keep reordering as we're... I didn't take much time. I took some time. Okay, my number 8 is House of the Dragon season 2. I didn't love season 1. It was a great place to start, and that's how I feel about Game of Thrones. Like, you know, I didn't really love the beginning seasons. I loved how the show ended, aside from the last season. But House of the Dragon season 2, oh my God, it's back, baby. Like, that's how I felt. Watching dragons fly again. Oh, there's so many episodes that just killed me. And I can't spoil anything. I can't talk about it because Christine hasn't watched it. But oh my God, it was so good. I haven't screamed like that at my TV in such a long time. Like, I already care so much about these characters. I fear for my life at the end of this series. That's all I can say, and it's just so good. Season 2, absolutely incredible. It is it's so fun and interesting to see the Targaryens in their reign and with all the dragons. And you have to watch it. Christine, you need to watch it.
I know. I want to. It's one of those things where like I kind of need to kickstart with, I think, like somebody next to me or something, because I just like to turn. I don't want to rewatch it, and I feel like I have to rewatch it. But I know those first couple episodes are so hard. Yeah,
they are so hard. Yeah, it's like I don't want to. Look, we've been trying to watch it with Taya because we watch all of Game of Thrones with her. But I'm even like, I don't even want to rewatch some of those first episodes. It is hard because it's another body horror type of situation.
Yeah.
Within the first season,
scene scarred me. I think about it periodically. All right, coming in at number 8 for me is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the series on Amazon. I loved this. This is starring Maya Erskine and Donald Glover. Okay, I had so much fun watching this show. It's so real. Like, what I really loved about it is that the dynamics of their relationship feels so grounded and real. So this is not like the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are like positions that have to be filled by spies, and you have to apply, and then they pair you together as like a team that is like undercover as a husband and wife. So they have to move into this house together, these two spies, and do jobs together, but they don't know each other. And so they're like falling in love gradually through like living together and working together all the time as spies. And I just love both of their comedic timing, and they had such great chemistry together. And I'm just so excited that this was renewed for a second season. It's also like the leads are 2 people of color, which is great. This one was renewed, and I am so excited to see what they do in season 2, because we ended on like a big, intense, action-packed cliffhanger.
Oh, I was turned off by one scene, and I
I like, because you said you didn't like it that much, and I was just like, what is she talking about?
Both you and Heather are like, what are you talking about? It's so good. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I needed rewatch it with different eyes.
Maybe you're in a weird mood or something. I don't know, but I loved it. There's this episode where they're like kind of dating, but like they're on a job in like somewhere cold at like a ski resort, and I just remember loving that one so much. I can't even remember. I have to rewatch this before the second season because I can't remember. I just loved it.
I need to watch it. I like that undercurrent of like sexual tension. That's one of my favorite things in TV shows. Which is what I feel like like long TV shows used to do really, really well, and now we don't really get a lot of that, in my opinion. You know, the
Slow burn.
24 Yeah, slow burn. All right, number 7. This is a new show I just watched this fall, and I binged the first season and I watched season 2 week to week, and I talked about it really recently on what I've been watching. It's Tell Me Lies. It's on Hulu, and it's probably my new favorite fucking show. Okay,
I'm excited to watch this.
It's so good. It's set in 2 different timelines, one in 2007 and then one in 2015.
15?
And we go back to when this group of friends was in college together, and then we flash forward to a wedding. And things are being revealed. Like, it is shocking. You're like, this person's with what? This happened to you? What? I'm so confused. What's going on? You did that? Oh my God. It's just like, it's so good. The way that the show is written is just so well. Okay. So it really is centered around a very toxic relationship between a freshman girl and a junior guy. And these 2 actors, by the way, are a couple in real life, which I think is pretty cute. But in the show, I fucking hate them together. There's so much drama. And
It's like Suki and, oh my God, what is the vampire's name? In
Bill?
True Blood. Bill. Suki.
And the things that they do to each other, and then they somehow get back together, and it's just wow. And then there's other plot lines. There's this actress who I feel like she could, if Twilight was ever redone and now, she could play Alice. Like, that's how beautiful and cute she is. She plays one of her friends, the main girl's friend. But there's her storyline in season 2. I can't even think of her name right now. Hannah, is that her name? Her storyline in season 2, she's with a professor, and it's everything. So good. It's with the guy, the British actor who played Lucifer. And Brie, thank you, my 3. Oh my God. So anyways, if you guys haven't watched Tell Me Lies, it's basically like a much better Pretty Little Liars. But like better writing. Everything is better. Everything is great. It's like a more adult, mature show.
Excited for the day when I'm like, fuck everything. I'm just binging this. All right. We're at number 7. My number 7 is The Circle. And The Circle is higher than Survivor this year because I think they've done some really interesting things to keep the show feeling super exciting and super intense. Like, this year they've gotten super Survivor-y. Like, it's gotten super competitive and strategic. And the players are moving in different interesting ways to make it to the end of the game. Whereas a lot of the first couple seasons, and I guess this is naturally what happens in any show like this, the first couple seasons is a lot more about heart and stuff. And like, it's still about heart, but there's like a lot more strategy involved in how to get to the end. And I'm loving it. I'm just eating it up. This past season of The Circle was my favorite one so far. It was so exciting. And they have like all these interesting twists that they're doing that are so much fun. It's just like so much mischief with like all the catfishing. Oh, I fucking love it.
I love that you put. I don't have any reality TV shows on my list. You adore reality TV shows.
I have mad respect for a good reality game.
Well, because I think it's a lot harder probably because you can't really write that stuff. It just happens.
You have to like it's a lot of casting. You have to like put together the chemistry of people that you think is going to make for a good season.
Mm-hmm. That's true. She's studied it for her book. Okay, number 6. I'm not going to talk about this one too much because it's higher up on Christine's list. Netflix dropped 3 Body Problem, which was a very popular book, I think, in the early 2000s. And this reminded me so much of so many things that I love because it's about aliens and I fucking love aliens. I love a good alien TV show. I love a good alien movie. Like X-Files is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's kind of got that vibe along with like Lost vibes, along with like, I would say like Scythe, maybe like the book Scythe. It was, oh God, every episode was so good. I was sewing during this.
You were sewing during it?
Yeah, for a lot of it. And so like I would have to be like, wait, rewind it. So like I need to go back and rewatch it because I feel like some parts are missing. But there's some things of that show that stick with me that I think about. They live rent free in my mind. So I'm very excited for what's to come. There was like 3 books, right?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched it on Netflix, please do so. It's really good.
All right. That was your number 6. Okay. My number 6 has really stuck with me in my head a lot. So I wanted to put it on here. So Fargo is a show that I've never watched before this year. And they had like a whole Fargo week on Armchair Expert where they had a lot of the cast and creators on every day that week. And I was just hearing so much about it. And I didn't want to listen to the episodes unless I watched the show. And then I got sick. And I was like, I had one of my like, fuck it, we're binging Fargo season 5. Because you don't have to watch any of the other seasons to watch season 5.
Let me just say that Alex had me watching Fargo season 1 and season 2. And I'm like, I don't like this show.
Okay. Every season is different though, but I don't want to watch any other seasons. Like I don't have the craving to watch other seasons. But season 5, the star of this season is Juno Temple from Ted Lasso. You know, the woman from Ted Lasso, not the blonde woman. I mean, she's blonde too. You know, the girlfriend.
She's got curly hair. The curly haired, like little petite girl.
Yeah, I can't remember her name in the show, but you know her. Kelsey or something, or Keely from Ted. Yeah, from Ted Lasso. Okay, I love her. And then, oh my God, from Mad Men, the lead guy. Fuck me.
John
Hamm. John Hamm is the other lead, and he plays like the big villain. And
is this the one with Ewan McGregor?
No.
Okay.
Basically, it takes place in like a Bible Belty state with like lots of guns, and Juno Temple is married to this really like kind of passive, sweet husband, but his mother is like a huge senator or something, and like very pro guns and blah blah blah, and very like much like Juno's character will never live up to like who her daughter-in-law should be. And they have a little kid. One day she just gets like, I thought this was a dream sequence. Like someone breaks into the house and starts to like attack her, and she's like so good at escaping. Like she's like can fight and do all this stuff, and then you start to be like, who is she? And it's like this crazy cat and mouse chase with these like really bad people trying to kidnap her, and she keeps like kicking ass and getting away because she's so resourceful, and you're trying to put the pieces together of like, what the fuck's going on, and like, is she a spy, like what is it? And her poor husband and child are like unfortunately like getting wrapped up in it, and it's really good. It's like, it's a thriller, like you can't stop watching it. I think it's like 7 episodes. I think I binged them all in like a day and a half. It's great. I love just watching women kick ass like that. It's very like Charlie's Angels feeling, except very grounded. And I don't want to give away, you know, what is actually going on, so I'm not going to say anymore. But the policeman in it is I can't remember anyone's name from New Girl. The guy from New Girl.
Nick?
No. The black guy. He's been in so much lately. I've been seeing him all around. Fuck me.
At this point, you just gotta Google Winston.
All right. Lamone Morris. Yes. Anyway, he's great in it. And I think he acts his ass off in it. And I think he got an Emmy from it, or nominated at least. Like, he was so good in it.
The thing about Fargo is that it's still got charm and it's funny.
Yes.
But you're also dealing with some very
really heavy topics.
heavy topics.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about it too. Like, it's funny and witty and heartful, full of heart, but also like really intense. I highly recommend season 5.
My number 5 is Fallout. So it's the new show that dropped this year, based off the TV show. We did a whole episode on it with my brother Alex. It was so freaking good. Such a great new show. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because Christina and I can talk about it later. That's my number 5, though.
All right. My number 5 is Hacks. Season 3 of Hacks dropped this year on HBO Max. I love the show so much. If for anybody who likes comedy, you're going to enjoy the show. If you're a writer, I feel like you're going to enjoy the show. I've talked about it a lot before. It's like a 70-something-year-old comedian who really, her work, she hasn't updated it in a long time. And then there is a 25-year-old writer who's kind of like down on her luck because she tweeted something and got fired from her job. And she was like kind of a prodigy. She got like took out of college because they thought her writing was so funny. And then she started working for the show. And then she just like tweeted something and they were like, well, you're fired. And no one would hire her. And she got her manager's the same manager as this comedian. And he sets her up as like, the comedian wants a writer to help her. And the comedian is like, I don't want a fucking writer. But she just sends her to her house as like a job interview. And she's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm here to interview. And like they have like really funny banter back and forth as they insult each other. And then she hires her because she's like, oh, she's funny. And then like their relationship is so fun. Like this woman is so closed off. And the 25-year-old like Gen Z is just really open about like, you know, about like how much she cares about the earth and like her sexuality, like all these things that the boomer generation is like, why are you talking about this? Like, they clash all the time over stupid shit and it's so funny, but in the end like they're friends and they have this really great working relationship and it's just so heartwarming and funny and I love it. The writing is just excellent.
Christine loves this show so much and she had me watch the first episode and I did love it. I feel like I need to give it another chance. It's so funny though because Christine and I are very different with what we like when it comes to our shows and comedy. Like Christine absolutely adores comedy. I am like, I don't need to watch a comedy. And it's funny because like Alex or you will laugh at things harder than I will. Like I'll laugh at stuff, but it doesn't hit me as well. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I don't think anything's wrong with me. I just think maybe those are my preferences and I'm just like not as into comedy as I am
some
other
of the comedy
things.
is more like cerebrally puzzly and like I feel like you're like not this big of a fan of like having to put things together to laugh. You'll just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm like, I don't really need to. I like a joke that comes back around. Like that's always fun, but it's I don't always like to figure things out in a comedic way.
Yeah, there's like all a combination of all different types of comedy and hacks. Like it's not like I was saying, it's not. I didn't mean that like this is all cerebral comedy, but there is some I know that like you don't like because it's like, what do you mean you have to like do this to get the joke?
Yeah, it's just not my favorite. It never has been. I don't know why. Okay, moving on. Our number 4. We're getting up to our top 3.
Yeah.
I'm sure none of y'all saw this coming because you probably think it's number 1, but it's not. It's Bridgerton season 3. It's number 4. It's still really high up, okay? I think back on Bridgerton season 3, it was my everything. I loved it. I was so excited about it, but I really feel the second part let me down a bit. And I think they built it up so much and that we didn't really, when they split it in half, and I just kept rewatching the first 4 episodes over and over again, and we got to the carriage scene, and it was my absolute favorite thing. And then we got to the second part, and I feel like we didn't get enough of Penelope and Colin together. I still feel that way. I don't care if there's going to be more seasons and we'll see them. That was their time. They needed more. And they were just fighting for the last half of it. And it was frustrating. And I love my romance books when there's conflict, okay? But there were so many opportunities where they could have had conflict and still had that heat and that chemistry and still be brought together. And I feel like the Blast Heart part of season 3 was missing that. And it was so frustrating.
Yeah, it didn't make it onto my list because I just felt like the other ones had more well-rounded seasons and I couldn't put it above it.
Yeah. And that's sad. When Laura said, I watched the first half 10 times, the second half only once. I've only seen it once or twice because I got so frustrated. And as I've now had time with it, I am frustrated by season 3. While it's still not, I think season 2 is still my favorite. And I hate that I think that way, but they did it to us and it's annoying.
Yeah, season 2 is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard to top season 2 because I think it's perfect.
My 3 said, yeah, I agree. I haven't really thought about it after it came out. No, seriously. I was like, did we all forget about Bridgerton? Because it just evaporated from my mind. Besides, obviously, having the Bath and Body Works soaps in front of us all the time.
All right.
Katie says, hold on, I'm not done yet. Kay says it just wasn't satisfying like the other seasons. Bridgerton, Shayla says Bridgerton season 3 was a moment for sure. It owned spring and summer. Totally valid points. I honestly feel really similarly. Felt happy at the end, but also weirdly disappointed. My 3 said, I'm hoping next season is better, and they took some of the notes from the audience. Shayla says season 2 is best, top tier. Shot says Penelope is still my favorite character, but the second half didn't do it for me. Oh, and I love Penelope, and I love that we got her whole arc, and she looked beautiful, and we got to see a really good sex scene. But there wasn't enough romance in the last half.
But even that sex scene, I felt like I didn't love it. The one that we saw,
because there wasn't enough touching.
We talked about this, yeah, and also we kind of focused on her anxiety. And she wasn't able to fully enjoy it because she was in the position of power. She was needing to she's like, Colin, tell me what to do. And I don't really think that's that fun to watch for a woman because I think everyone has their own kind of PTSD about that conversation.
Mm-hmm. And it's we got maybe 5 seconds of her on top at the very end, but they were really lacking connection, I think, when it came to the physicality of it all. And when, I don't know, it wasn't satisfying.
I just think Colin, we've talked about this too, but I just don't think Colin's as good of an actor.
No, yeah, unfortunately. You guys can listen to our 2-part Bridgerton episodes.
Extensive Bridgerton breakdown.
But it is interesting now coming off of it after 4 or 5 months after it ended, and now realizing that yes, I was disappointed with season 3 and I wish we had more. I was in that mindset when it coming yeah, I really loved it, but now I'm it wasn't what I wanted it to be.
My number 4 is My Lady Jane. We did a whole episode about it. The actors' chemistry was absolutely off the charts. It was so much fun to watch them fall in love and bicker and just be together. I am so sad that it was canceled, and I think we'll talk about this more soon.
Fucking canceled fucking shows. I can't take it. They just slice it off when it's so good. Okay, moving on. Top 3. Who's ready?
We're in our top 3.
No one knows my top 3 because I barely talked about them.
We do know.
We know one of them. All right. Number 3. No one's going to guess this. It's The Gentleman from Netflix with Theo James. You know what? Theo James can be in anything and I'll watch it. And he will make me love anything because I love that man so much and his acting. Okay. So, you guys, it's so funny because I watched these shows with Alex and he like doesn't love The Gentleman as much as I did. But I was like, please, can we watch it?
Please.
Prove I'm wrong. Okay. So The Gentleman is it's kind of a spin-off of the Guy Ritchie movie called The Gentleman, which came out in 2020. And then they brought it to Netflix in this like 8-part episode. It's with Theo James and Kaya Scodelario. I really enjoyed this film the TV show. It has all my favorite things in it, which is British men, British aristocracy, rich people. Just kidding. Theo James, Kaya Scodelario, who plays a character who is such a badass, also set in the UK. So anything basically British. Got it? Okay. Love it all. So Theo James, his dad just passed. He inherits everything. He's the second son. And then that's drama in and of itself. Okay. And they're like, oh, we might have to sell the house. Like, we don't really know what's going on. Lo and behold, there is a whole drug compound underneath the house, and that's how they are making money, is that the people who make the drugs give the family money, and they're able to afford the lifestyle and afford their family home. Kaya Scodelario is the daughter of the main drug lord, and she's just like this like cockney like hard ass, and they kind of form an alliance together. He really wants
sexual tension.
In sexual tension. Yes. There's not a lot that happens in season 1 because I'm excited for season 2 because they set it up really great with that. But yeah, so he really wants them off their property. She's like, well, we can do this. And then he's like, okay, fine. And then it turns out, and he's like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And then he gets really involved, and there's like saving, like he saves her and then she saves him. And it's just great. And it's funny and it's fun. And I had a jolly good time watching The Gentleman. I can't wait for season 2.
Time.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, just watch it. Okay. You're going to be very happy. And again, Theo James is hot. So.
All right. My number 3, the top 3 here. Okay. My number 3 is Nobody Wants This, starring Adam Brody and Kristen Bell, which we just recently talked about. I'm in love with the show. If you don't know the premise, it's like early 40-somethings, late 30-something, like cool girl who does a podcast with her sister about like sex and relationship stuff. And the podcast is based off of her like being really honest about her dating life and stuff. And she hasn't had a meaningful, good relationship in a really long time. Everyone sucks. And she goes to a friend's house for like a dinner, and her friend is like, okay, so a rabbi is coming today, and like this divorcee. So, and she sees Adam Brody there, and she's like, oh, that must be the divorcee. And they talk and like start hitting it off. She's like, oh my God, I really like this divorce guy. And then they're at the dinner table, and someone's like, Rabbi, do you want to say a prayer? And he starts doing the prayer, and she's like, why are you doing that? And he's like, I am the rabbi. Yeah, and they just have so much chemistry together. The writing is so quick, so fun, so like modern, and it just like feels so in touch with like the dating scene today. And it was so funny and amazing. It's so good.
It's
Can't wait to watch it again.
I had this on my list, but I moved it down to that was the one that I moved, guys. I loved it so much. I know Christine was going to talk about it, so it was like one of those shows where I didn't want it to end because I just wanted to like live in it.
Yeah, it was renewed for season 2, so I'm fucking excited.
I'm very excited. It's such a good show if you guys haven't watched it yet, and like such an easy binge.
We're up to number 2.
Number 2.
What is your number 2, Natasha?
I love how someone called me mysterious. Natasha.
No, it's because you were like, nobody knows my top 3. That's why they said it.
All right, number 2 is Shogun. This was on Hulu. Alex made me watch it. This show premiered in March, and he just got me to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it, but then once it started winning all of the Emmys and all the awards, I was like very intrigued about this show. So it's set in 1700s or the 1600s or earlier than that. You know what? I don't know.
It's set in some point in history.
Let me tell you. Okay, so
Alex will whisper over.
Yeah, so Shayla said, yeah, the words definitely put it on my calendar. And so Alex finally got me to watch it. Most of the show is spoken in Japanese. They do have a dub version where the actors who are speaking Japanese are actually the ones who are doing their own dub. So that is interesting. Alex really wanted to watch it in Japanese, so we watched it mainly in Japanese, aside from like when we were eating. He tried to put it on when I was sewing. I was like, Alex, I can't watch this show while I'm sewing. That would require me to look up and read, and I can't do those things at the same time. So like it took a long time for us to watch it. So just be aware of that if that's not your thing. But it is in dub with the same actors. The show is about, we follow a British man, and he kind of crash lands, not really because he's not in a, but he and his crew have been on a ship for a very, very long time, and I think they went around South America and they found Japan. Okay. The British have not known about this country thus far. This is why I don't know exactly what year it is. The only people who know
1600-y.
Yeah, the only people that know where Japan is are the Spaniards. They have already set up a whole Catholic church there. Half the people in Japan are already Catholic. So we follow this main character. They capture him. Japan has already had, I think, about 50 years of peace. That there's been civil war throughout the country for years and years and years and years. So it was really interesting learning about the succession of power in Japan. So we have the emperor, and then we have kind of the person underneath him, which would kind of be like the president. And then there's people underneath them who are in charge of like their different counties and states and things like that. And then there's this title called Shogun, where it's like this all-powerful type of military general who kind of like takes over, and no one has been a shogun for a long time. We follow this British man as he is being introduced to all of these Japanese traditions for the first time, because everything is very, very new. He has to have a translator with him. So first they bring in the Spanish translator, and then they're like, oh, like we don't even know if he's translating well enough because he hates the British. And so then they bring in a Japanese woman who is fully Catholic, and she speaks very well English, and she's married, she has a boy. Then these two kind of form a relationship. So it's this married Japanese woman and this British man, and kind of that's how the story evolves from there. And we see the different types of battles and wars between all of these hierarchies within the Japanese power system. And I'm really not going to go more into it. But my favorite thing about Shogun is this relationship between the British guy and the Japanese woman, and how much they respect each other, and how they're slowly falling in love with each other. And that's what kept me watching. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautifully shot. It's so interesting to learn about this culture and about it from like, you know, just a history perspective. And it's winning awards for a good reason. And it's definitely one of my favorite shows this year, and you all should watch it. It's so good.
I have so much to watch. All right, number 2. My number 2 is Fallout. We did a whole episode about Fallout, like Natasha said, with Alex. It was so much fun. The show is so good, and it's made by not Christopher Nolan's brother, Jonathan Nolan, who did Westworld. And so I was immediately on board, and they do an excellent job of setting up all these characters and endearing them to you. It takes place after a nuclear fallout. So there's all these underground, what do they call them? Like,
bunkers?
Yeah, but they call them like
vaults.
Like the vaults. There we go. All these underground vaults, like that people before the nuclear fallout bought like placements in, like bought like basically apartments in, so that they could live in these underground
And be
vaults
safe.
and be safe if there was nuclear fallout. So like there was this preemptive prep for if this would happen, and we follow characters coming out of the vaults for the first time, and they've lived in this like little utopia their entire lives, like kind of like the 100, where they lived like up in space in the satellite and haven't been up on Earth.
They lived there for like 300 years, right? Or is it?
Yeah.
100? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while because they were waiting for it to be like not radioactive enough, and I mean not too radioactive to live up above. And what we learn as she's up there is that it is livable up there, and they've kind of been being like fear mongered into staying in the vaults, and a lot of stuff starts to unfold. It's really, really good. And
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. The lead girl in it is from Yellow Jackets, and she played Jackie.
Or from Miss Peculiar's.
And she's from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. She played Emma. She is in that new Stars show called Sweet Pea. She's great. And there's a lot of other main characters, and I love them all. You should definitely watch it, and then you can listen to our episode about it. I really enjoyed talking about all the aspects of it. The music in it's phenomenal, like
Ella Purnell.
Cinematography. Ella Purnell, yes, so good.
It's such a great show. I'm so happy that we were able to watch it, because Alex has been playing that game since we were literally in 7th grade, and I watched him play it, and the fact that like I now know more of the world is fun for me.
Oh, Laura, I didn't realize Sweet Pea was a book. Oh, fuck. Do I need to read that before I watch it? Because I've been so excited to watch Sweet Pea.
I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm just like, should I?
You don't have time.
I know, but I want to have time.
I know. Okay, number 1.
Natasha, hit us with your number 1.
It's My Lady Jane.
What a surprise.
Oh my goodness. This was such a refreshing show. It was everything I ever wanted. We do have a whole episode on this if you want like more of a breakdown to talk about it. I am so incredibly sad and mad that they canceled this show. I think it does wrap up nicely into like a nice little bow.
It's still fun to watch, and you don't feel bad.
Yeah, you don't feel bad that it's over. Coming out of Bridgerton season 3, like we already talked about, and being so kind of disappointed, and then having this to binge was a lovely gift, because they did the slow burn and the hate to love so well. Their bickering, their chemistry, and then when they finally
the character is very Jace-like. It's Jace in another setting.
Dude, he's so cute. I love him. He's such a great actor.
Yeah.
And she is too. Like, she was definitely giving like spicy Lizzie Bennett vibes, but just better. And like, it's one of those. My favorite trope is the marriage of convenience trope, and they have to get married. And I remember being like, oh, I don't really want to watch this. Like, I know how this is going to end. Like, she has a very, very tragic story, but it's like, no, we're going to change the story. I'm like, oh wait, I like this. And then it's it's like the show Virgin. What's it called?
Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin.
Yeah.
It's like Jane the Virgin in that
Got
sense.
a really plucky narrator, and it's very fun to listen to his narration.
It's such a well-written show. Like, I'm sure all of our girlies on here have watched it and have loved it, and I would be interested to see if this was your number one of the year. I'm sure there's a lot of great shows, but I think for the girls and the guys and the non-binaries who love romantasy and who just love reading because it was a book, like, this is
My number one.
no, I know that, but like one of their favorite shows
Okay.
of the year, because it's like we don't get these shows very often, and when we do, I just love them. Like, they become my favorite thing that I rewatch and I rewatch and I rewatch, and I'm so glad we have at least one season of it to watch.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm really glad we got the one season, and we got that actress. She's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I'm
Emily
excited to see
Bader.
what her career is going to be like.
My number one is The Three Body Problem. Now, Natasha had it as like 6 or 7 or something. This series was phenomenal. I'm obsessed with it. I think about it all the time.
I'm surprised it's on your number one, because I feel like we only talked about it once, and then I haven't heard you talk about
It's
it.
because I didn't watch it till after you watched it. So like we weren't talking about it at the same time. But I think about this all the time. I talked about it extensively with my neighbor after, because he watched it too. My neighbor's husband watched it. But it is just okay. So the premise is, well, okay. It's giving like The Host meets like
oh yeah, The Host
meets like Scythe, like you were saying, and it's got like sci-fi aspects to it, but it's a big mystery as to what's going on, because clearly like there's some thing in the universe that is like communicating, or on Earth maybe, like we don't know, so you're always trying to put together the puzzle pieces, and I love that. So all the scientists, like these really advanced like nanotechnology, just not even just that kind of, all these scientists are being murdered, and it looks like they're unaliving themselves, but in actuality something is going on, because it's like all the scientists, and then one of the scientists we're following, like this countdown starts popping up in her vision, and like it's really scary because a lot of her friends have now been murdered. They don't know what's going on, and she like doesn't, like, she can't figure out how to get it to stop until she quits her job. When she stops working on science, the countdown stops. And so something is targeting these scientists, and we're trying to figure it out. And there's like this cult, and like there's just all these moving parts, and it's like I can't tell you too much, because part of the joy of watching it is like letting the mystery unravel. But it's so fascinating, and it has like all my favorite themes of like what it means to be human, and the idea of like the perfect world, and what makes humanity perfect, and is that actually perfect, like eliminating like all the bad things from humanity. Are we even human anymore? Oh god, it's so good. And I think it's like 8 episodes, and so there's a group of scientists that are friends from like school, and so they start hanging out more now, because they're like, what's going on, like why are all our colleagues dying, and they're trying to figure it out together because they're all friends. So we have like this friend group working together, and it's really, their relationship is really heartwarming, and kind of like you follow them throughout the show, all these different friends and their different scientific fields, and why they're being like targeted to be killed by like an unknown force. It's so good, and I'm so glad that Netflix confirmed back in May that the series will return with new episodes. It didn't say a season 2 though, it said new episodes, so I don't know if it's like gonna be like a series of episodes and to like wrap it up, or what it's gonna be, but I'm glad that it's not over. And honestly, I think I might listen to the audiobook, because I loved it so much, and just thinking about it again was like getting me all excited. I'm like, do I have to rewatch it or should I listen to the audiobook? And I saw that the audiobook's on Spotify, so maybe I'll listen to it.
Okay, I want to. It's so good. I love a good alien show. It's my fave.
I love like the mystery. So like the whole time you're like, are there aliens? And then you're like trying to figure out what they look like, or like, are they in us? Like the host. Like it's really like scary in that way because they're unseen. It's like the unseen monster in a horror movie. Like it makes it so much freakier because you can't figure out exactly how they're getting to you. Like, are they with us? Like, what's going on?
Wow. Well, our top 10.
Yeah, I think it was a really, I mean, as all these were. Oh, yeah. And also, I forgot to mention that this is like a project made by the two guys who did Game of Thrones. So that's why I was like immediately interested when I saw that. Natasha was talking about it, but then I saw that they did it and I was like, oh, cool, exciting.
Like, I know we give them Benoff and Weiss,
you guys like they give them a lot of shit, but they did put together a lot of amazing TV.
And the things that they write, like the dialogue that they give these characters at that they gave the characters in Game of Thrones is so beautiful, and things that you will remember to the end of time. I was just actually recently watching Hot Ones with what's his face? He plays
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, and he said so many amazing things about him. And he's like, yeah, there's just anything that they would write to give me. Like it was so easy for me to act.
I mean, it's really frustrating that they're judged on this like one season when they put out 7 amazing seasons. Like it's just like everyone hates them now because one season.
Yeah.
And they canceled out everything good they've ever done. Like, that's so disheartening as, like, an artist or a writer or whatever you do. Like, that you're judged by one thing that people didn't like instead of all the things that they did love before.
It's frustrating and for us to have that last season and be like, okay, well, what does any of this make sense? Fortunately, Three Body Problem is a complete book series, so they do adapting really well. So there we go. So you don't have to worry about anything from Three Body Problem because it's finished.
Yeah, I'm really excited for more. Like, it got really wild toward the end, and I was like, ah! I'm excited. And they had, like, a lot of poignant, just, like, coming with the theme of, like, being human, just, like, comes with so many poignant storylines that really hit you in these philosophical, thought-provoking ways that like you can't stop thinking about for weeks on end. So anyway, so before we like sign off here, let's talk about like our honorable mentions that we couldn't fit in the top 10 because we watched so much TV. What's on your list?
Well, The Flat Share, Christine and I both watched.
Yes, this was so charming and so well done.
Such a charming. Yeah, I wanted to watch it. Well, some of the actress from Downton Abbey's in it, and the guy who plays Eric in Little Mermaid's in it, and it was such a fun show. Basically, we follow. It's set in England, and we follow this girl and this guy who basically share a flat together. Like she is in there, I think, all day, and then he's there all night, and they never meet, and they speak
he works
through
the night shift, and she works the day shift.
Yeah, and they speak through
Post-it notes.
Post-its. Yeah. They don't have each other's phone numbers.
But like they are slowly like falling in like with each other through these Post-it notes. And it's so cute. And then like one day he's home early and she's home and they overlap and it's like, oh my God. That's what he looks like. Like she doesn't even know what he looks like. It's so cute. And they're like sharing a bed and he has to like change the sheets every day he comes home because they have to share the same bed because rent is so expensive. So that's why they're doing the flat share because he works a night shift. Another one I wanted to give an honorable mention, One Day. I just think they did a really great job with that adaptation of that book. Much better than the movie, from what I've heard from everyone who's watched it. It had just so much a much better balance of the hard parts and the good parts.
Wait, which show?
One Day.
Oh,
yeah. I really enjoyed
That's
it.
the one I refused to watch.
Yeah, but it was different than the movie. Like, you told me what happened in the movie. I was like, oh, that's not what happens.
I still don't want to cry.
But, like, the thing is, in the movie, I'm assuming you don't get, like, lots of time where they're together. But,
No,
like,
you do, and that's why you cry hard.
No. I mean, like, sorry. I mean...
Oh, at the very... Yes.
It's hard to explain, yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try one time when I feel like I am mentally able.
Okay, so the Flash Share you watch on Amazon
Tubi?
Prime, which is... What is that, like,
Is it on
free one?
Tubi?
No, it was on, like... Freevee on Amazon Prime. And then one day it was on Netflix, which you probably weren't asking about that one because it was on Netflix. Then I have Bridgerton on here, The Traitors, which was great. It's on Peacock. That is a reality show where they bring on like people from Survivor, people from Housewives, people from The Bachelor to play a game of basically Clue, where like 3 people are the murderers and you have to figure out who they are, and it's really fun. What else is on your list?
I have Love Island this season. Oh my God, it was so good. That was my summer. Absolutely love Love Island. I had put Nobody Wants This because I moved it down my list. Maxton Hall, which was a German like romantic TV show that premiered on Amazon, I think the same time the Anne Hathaway movie premiered. Miley and I watched it, my cousin and I, and we were like, okay, next episode. It's just one of those like trashy fun TV. It's not trashy. It is a that's what I hate that. Like, and why I even think that. It's for us who love romance, and it's we follow 2 characters who one is from money, one's not. One's getting a scholarship to go to this nice school, and they kind of hate each other, and then they start to love each other. It was just one of those like fun shows, right?
Nice.
The Bear season 3.
The Bear season 3, I mean, it was really good, but it was like the show that disappointed me this year because it didn't move forward enough in the plot. And then the entire season passed and we didn't get anywhere with anything.
I still really loved it. I would have put it on my list, but I had other things I liked better because I feel like I always talk about The Bear and I think it's really good. I liked it more than Christine did. I think I loved the episodes where we got to know some of our side characters a little bit better.
They were so good, but like they just didn't, like the timeline jumped backwards a bunch to fill in gaps without moving forwards, and I was just really frustrated because there's so much sexual tension happening with our leads and we didn't get any closure in any way about anything with them.
I did not care about them, so I was perfectly fine with that.
Well, I care about the restaurant.
I care about the restaurant. Oh, for sure.
And that's what it was about. It was about like someone came to review the restaurant. It was going to make or break the restaurant. This was the beginning of the season. When you follow an arc like that, this is just like Yellow Jacket season 1, where like the arc that you set up in the front of the season didn't end the season. It just wasn't, it was still a question mark. And it's like, you can't do that. That's such frustrating storytelling.
Oh, you're talking about what's her, like the 2 chefs, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The chefs.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the other girl.
No, I don't care about her either.
Okay,
I'm
I don't care
talking
about her.
I'm talking about the chefs. Yeah, chef.
Io
and Jeremy.
Whatever. We love The Bear. We hold it in high regard.
Oh yeah. It was excellently made and all the episodes were excellent, but as a season I was like, what the fuck? How dare you end it? Like, give me 3 more episodes so you can end these arcs.
I have Rings of Power on here, which just finished up. I loved this season. I really did. It didn't make it on my top because I think I had, in my fan fiction fangirly brain, I wanted more to happen. And it was the same thing. It was like Rings of Power where you were like, okay, they're making the rings. And then not a lot happened. They made the rings and that was about it. It felt like we moved an inch in the storyline.
And it's just like, it feels frustrating as hell.
Yeah. And like I got my nice little like Sauron Galadriel type of situation happening but I was waiting the whole season for them to like finally come back and like meet each other again. And I'm just like, 5 minutes of this? That's it? Like, I wanted more. Okay.
And you know it's going to take a really long time for the next season to come out. So that's part of why it feels so frustrating.
Yeah. It's just 8 episodes of like, okay, really wanted to see that interaction happen. Okay, it happened. Now we're done. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. I think before we end, it's also really exciting to talk about what we're so excited about coming next year that we didn't get this year. Like shows that have been on hiatus for so long because the writer's strike really pushed everything back. Like, so, for example, Severance, we talked about that. White Lotus is going to come back next year.
So
the final season of You, season 5. Yellow Jackets. Oh, I'm so excited. Squid Game comes back over Christmas. So pumped.
Glad I watched it.
Yeah. It's on my calendar. I'm so pumped. Summer I Turned Pretty will come back next summer. That's exciting.
Stranger Things is supposedly supposed to come back next year.
Is it?
remember?
I couldn't remember if it's next year or are they not telling me it's 2026. I think 2025, right?
I think they moved it again to 26. I don't know.
Are you shitting me? They were filming this year.
They're filming, but maybe Christmas. Maybe Christmas next year. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The Last of Us is already done and filmed. Season 2 is coming out. I'm very excited. Beef, we just talked about at the beginning of the show. Andor Season 2, another of the Star Wars shows that I really love, and I think it was so well done. Season 2 is coming back. It'll be its final season. Daredevil!
Yes.
It's gonna be interesting, nerve-wracking. Like, will it be?
I
as
hope
good?
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's like 14 episodes. It's like the longest Disney Plus show thus far. Silo is coming back in November. It's coming back in 1 week. Like, I'm kind of sad we filmed this because that was at my top of my list last year.
Oh,
yeah.
just missed it. I was sad about Squid Game. I was like, it's gonna be this year, but it'll have to be next year.
Yeah. And then Wednesday is coming back, I think, January or February.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Wednesday is one of those that I watched when I needed something to watch while I was cooking, and then that's how I got into it eventually. But it took a while because the vibe is just not usually my vibe. All right, you ready for a Mary Kiss Cliff?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So this week I put together a TV themed Mary Kiss Cliff. Mary Kiss Cliff. Bridgerton season 2, The Summer I Turned Pretty season 1, or White Lotus season 2.
Oh no. Well, I'm marrying Bridgerton season 2.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. I gotta kiss Summer I Turned Pretty and Cliff White Lotus.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same thing looking at it now.
You think it's going to be hard?
White Lotus season 2 is so good.
Yeah, but it has a different vibe.
I know.
No one's falling in love. They're
like
falling.
It's not the comfort vibe that we're looking for with a marriage.
Yeah. I didn't finish my joke. I said no one's falling in love. They're falling off a boat.
I thought you were just doing falling ... Oh man. Well, that was our top 10s episode. We'd love to hear what your top 10 were in the comments, if that on the YouTube channel or in our Instagram post. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and if we're missing something, we want to know. Thank you so much for hanging with us today. We release episodes every Friday, so make sure you're following the podcast in your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is edited by Alex Polis, Natasha Polis, Christine Riccio, and Ricky McBrayer. Our music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Traska. Our socials are done by Chloe Laverson, and I think that's all. We're off to go record Fangirl Tea Time. We're going to be talking. I got a bunch of stuff down today. Icks and other things going on in life.
This is news to me. We're doing recent icks.
Well, I just wrote that as a prompt if you didn't have anything in mind because we just recorded. But I just started thinking about a lot of stuff that I have to chat about. So that will be in tea time today. If you are not a patron, you can check out the link in our show notes and become one if you're interested in listening to all of our tea time episodes. Thank you all so much for hanging, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.